this game sucks, and it's boring, and there's nothing to do. This is a hyperbole, and it's one I don't really agree with, but not one I'm necessarily going to argue against either. This isn't my usual content, as I don't like being overly negative about things. However, I would describe this game as exactly what you wanted, and nothing else. When you think about the Budokai Tenkaichi series, what do you think of first? Man, it's the battles, of course! The high-stakes action where the most insane things imaginable are possible. Recreate Goku versus Vegeta, or force Yamcha to face the full concentrated power of the sun. And the roster is just as epic as the fights. 100 plus characters, dude. You can make Videl fight, I don't know, some bum like Nova Shinron or Babidi, who knows? And this is all back in Sparking Zero. In fact, it's never looked better. Crazy super attacks, amazing cinematography, and a roster close to 200 characters. Have you ever wanted to see Garlic Jr. catch a punch from Broly? How about Roshi absolutely schooling this giant alien thing, man? Who cares? If you can dream it, then you can do it. Except you can't, because this is all they have to offer. If you're not a fan of doing specifically this like 5 billion times, then there's really not much left here for you. This game removes most game modes, with the exception being World Tournament. Survival mode, mission mode, Ultimate Battle Z, etc. are all gone. They try to make up for this with a custom battles, a mode that allows you to create your own story, but not only is it kinda limiting, most of the episodes uploaded just look like this. The story mode is cool, but it's really biased. Goku goes from Saiyan Saga all the way up to Tournament of Power, but Vegeta only goes up to Buu, and they got about 6 other characters that all suffer from this same issue. There's branching paths in the story showing things like, what if this happened instead? And they're really not that interesting. I was expecting crazy stuff, like what if Beerus woke up early and came to Earth, ooh, or what if Cell was on Namek and he was a good guy, why not, yeah. But instead, they do stuff like, what if Goku went Super Saiyan, like, a little bit earlier? Which is funny, because out of all the what if paths in Goku's story, I think this one has the most substance to it. I know it's not technically a Budokai game, but Raging Blast has some awesome what ifs within it, like the fusions fighting, or Bardock sparring with his grandson. Some of them are genuinely cool though, it's not all slings. For example, Gohan gets to fight Gohan Black. That's awesome! And when you beat him, you get to unlock him as a playable character. Ah, I got you. Yeah, you don't unlock shit, but you totally thought you would, right? Like, that's what you expected to happen, right? Yeah, so did everybody else. The roster also annoys me because for a game that prides itself on having a million different characters, the fact that they cut some characters from previous games is kind of ironic. I mean, you have categories like OG Dragon Ball that belong entirely to one character because f*** it. Now listen, the game can be fun, really fun. I had a good time with it during its initial month, especially as someone who didn't really grow up with the series. I was really excited to play it. The pre-release hype had me convinced this was going to be the Smash Ultimate of the Budokai series, but then it came out and it was like Smash Crusades. There's just not enough content. It confuses me because if you look at Xenoverse 2, which is an extremely similar game, this problem just straight up doesn't exist. There's a story mode that follows what-if scenarios, but unlike Sparking Zero, the main narrative is completely original. Parallel quests are side missions that you unlock throughout playing the game, and there's over 100 of them to complete. Raid bosses sporadically appear that you can take on. There's over 30 mentor characters for you to seek out and challenge, who come with their own set of missions, and finishing them actually lets you collect moves for your avatar. Each race of character has a time rift leading to their own specific location with a ton of stuff to do inside that you're constantly rewarded for finishing, and if you manage to do all of this for all 5 time rifts, you're given additional post-game content. Story content. The craziest part? Almost all of this is co-op compatible. You wanna know what's even crazier? That you can do nearly everything I just said in Dragon Ball FighterZ as well. This game plays nothing like the other two, yet it still offers an original story mode, tons of missions, multiple side modes, and raid bosses too. Why can't I expect this same level of quality from a game released nearly a decade after? Speaking of FighterZ, I'm shocked to say that Sparking Zero kind of looks worse. I know this is stretching away from being critical and instead just being pretentious, but the art style leaves much to be desired. I'm not saying the game looks bad by any means, but usually Dragon Ball games have their own art style, obviously inspired by the main series, but still unique. Sparking Zero specifically takes from Shintani, which is the art director for Super Broly. Hi, Dizzy from the future. I lied, actually. He's the animation director. And this honestly hinders the game because you have characters like Kid Goku who should look like this, but instead look like this because they're referencing a literal half-second appearance from the movie. And it really makes characters like Bardock suffer because this is their reference and this is what they came up with. Now, take a look at what Kakarot did with the same reference. You see my issue? I wish the characters looked like how they did in the source material. It would have been eye candy and totally makes sense for a game that's meant to celebrate Dragon Ball history. I don't know, maybe I'm asking too much, but this game is I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. Also, completely unrelated rant, the DLC sucks. I don't know why they decided the cutoff for base roster should be at Super Broly instead of Superhero when the movie had been out for like 3 years at the time of this game's release. Not to mention the fact that Beast Gohan had already been put into almost everything else. Stupid, it's whatever. It's whatever. I just wanted to rant and I'm done. I'm done. Dragon Ball video done. Done. Yep. Shallot's cool though. Shallot's cool. That's pretty cool. I'll give him that, you know, but yeah. Yep. They charged over $100 for this shit.